Hello from me, Lazar. We continue with the lessons from the free CSS course. And they are from my book, Creating a Website from Scratch. Last time we looked at Chapter 3, and now we're going to look at Chapter 4, Cascading CSS. Open the PDF file. Cascading is a special property in CSS that allows styles to be layered, mixed, combined and applied sequentially to elements in an HTML page. This means that on the same HTML element in the page, different styles can be applied simultaneously. In this case, two options can arise: one, when these styles do not contradict each other, then they complement and unite. The second option is when these styles contradict each other. Then the style with the highest priority is applied, and when the styles are of equal priority, then the style that is set later or further down in the document is applied. Let's look at two examples that illustrate these options, using as a basis the previous example with the paragraphs, but only the first part of it and leaving 3 paragraphs. Here's the code for them. In the first example, when the styles don't contradict each other, we'll set the element div, blue color on blue background color, and on the p element, a light green background color. And here's what we'll see in the browser: only the div element in the text is like that. Paragraphs, they inherit the text and the background is like that. In this case, the paragraphs are both properties are applied, the blue color of the text, which they inherit from the div as nested elements, and the green background color that we have assigned to them. In the second example, we will set to the div element, in addition to the blue color of the text and another background color, and the paragraphs we will leave them like this. The code is as follows: we set such a pink color to the background of the div, and here's what we see. So div, where it is, has a pink color, and with paragraphs it is more interesting, because for them we have conflicting styles. So one time they have, by inheritance, a pink color on the background, and the second time we have given them a green background color. However, we see that the second one has been fulfilled. The background color is green. So, it's determined by the priority of styles, which style should be executed. And the priority of styles, depending on the way they are specified, is as follows. First, the default browser style. This is the style with the lowest priority. It is executed when no other is specified style. The second is the style specified via an external CSS file. The third is the style specified in the HTML page itself, in the head section, between the style tags. And the last one is the style, which is specified in the element itself, in the body of the HTML page, called the inline style. It has the highest priority of all. This was also shown in Chapter 7, in the first part of the book, and now I'll show an example. We'll use the previous example with the paragraphs as a basis, and here we'll specify the background style in the head section and inline style in the element itself, applied to the same paragraph. Here is the code. Like here to paragraph 2 we have set inline style, otherwise in the head of the document the code remains the same, nothing there we touch. And here you see that the inline style is being implemented, which takes a top spot over the other. So, the next thing that we're going to look at is specificity. It often happens that the same element has multiple styles that specify different, conflicting rules, and the browser only needs to execute one of them. Therefore, it is necessary to have a priority of the execution of the styles, which in this case depends on the specificity. It is, let's say, something like a rank or level in the hierarchy. For each style rule the browser calculates the specificity of the selector, and in case of a conflict, the rule with the highest specificity is executed. There are 4 types of categories in the specificity hierarchy. 1 tag, element, pseudo-element, have the lowest specificity, 1. 2 class, pseudo-class, attribute, have specificity, 10. 3 identifier, ID, 100, has specificity, 100. 4 style specified in the element itself, inline, style, has specificity, 1000. The universal selector and inheritance have specificity 0. Here's an example where we'll show this. We'll add another paragraph, we'll remove the div element and the formatting associated with it, and set the following styles on the background. Element selector, we will set the same background for all paragraphs. Class selector, from the 2nd to the 4th paragraph we will set the class new, and then we will specify a different background for them. ID selector, on the 3rd and 4th paragraphs we will assign them ID selectors ID 3, ID 4, and then a different background for these paragraphs. Inline style, we will assign it to the 4th paragraph. And we'll see that in each subsequent paragraph the style that is higher specificity will be applied, and as a result all paragraphs will be formatted with a different style, according to their level of specificity. Here's the code, here's what we'll see in the browser. So, the last thing we're going to look at, actually, we'll just mention it in this lesson, is the key, official word important. It was created so that it could be used to change the priority of a given style rule and make it with the highest specificity. However, its use is not recommended, except in exceptional cases and then for people who understand it. And this is only done when it would be very complicated and difficult otherwise to change the priority of styles. For our case, as beginners, we will not consider it. That's all for this tutorial.